Yep. Yeah. Once again, very good morning and thanks for joining. Okay. In continues to yesterday's session. Okay. So we are discussing the major prerequisites of our SQL Server installation to make little smoother when we are going for installing SQL Server in any environment. Okay. It can be production, development, test servers, or pre-prod servers, any environments. Okay. We need to install SQL Server. 1 second, sir. Okay. Yeah. Uh, see, before we install SQL Server, what are the things we need to take in care? Okay, as per the best practice. Okay. Uh, One is I told you which version, which edition, along with what is the server you are going to, and you need to first connect to the server, verify, validate everything. Server is well configured as per the requirement. Then how I can where I can find the my executable file, like setup file to install SQL Server. Who will provide that file? Either you will either we can copy, or AppStream will copy to the server. And service account is very important. Once you create the service account, sometimes you will update the service account to the CyberArk. That is what we discussed yesterday. Before we move into the other concept, do you have any questions, everyone? No? Yes?
No, Subbu.
Yes. No. Okay. See, basically, one more important point is what services I need to install. Okay. See, what features mean services in the sense like features. So what features we need to install? That is also very, very important. What features we need to install? See, simply while you are installing SQL Server, not only SQL Server, right? You are having other services also. Okay. Okay. What features we need to install? That is also very, very important, sir. Okay. Features. So, in general, database engine will play a major role. So, that is a default service we will install when we are going to install the SQL Server. One is database engine. Database engine. Engine. Database engine. So once you install the database engine, you will get the agent also, means automation also. Automatically, you no need separately install the agent. So once you install the database engine, majority of the stuff you will get it. Okay. Along with the database engine, okay, there are other services also like replication. Okay, replication, SSIS, SSRS, okay, or Power BI, Power BI, Power BI. It's a reporting tools. Okay, reporting tools along with SSPS. So there are other also like machine level language, full text catalog, polybase. There are other features also. Only when they are requesting, we'll try to install. Otherwise, majority of the time we won't install those services. Majority of the time we will install these services. Okay, two services commonly will install is these two. Means these two features commonly will select the database engine and you will select the replication. You will select the database engine, you will select the replication, and you will select the integration service. These are the common three features every time you will install. Okay, every time you will install. What are the three? Database engine, replication, along with the integration service. Integration service. Okay. Now, in case they are specially asking about any reporting services, okay, uh, from SQL Server 2016 onwards, Microsoft came up with the concept called Power BI. You may install the Power BI also. Otherwise, we'll go for the reporting services. So anyhow, we will discuss these three in a separate sessions. Okay, total 6 sessions we'll spend on the time, like how to install integration service, how SSIS functionality is working, how to migrate, okay, what are the challenges you may come across, how to install reporting service, what are the things will taken care in the reporting and Power BI, how to migrate reporting services and Power BI, how to install analysis service, and how to what are the actions item will taken care in analysis service, and how to migrate the analysis services. So this we are going to spend almost 1 week of time. So we are not worrying about much about now. But while you get a chance to install SQL Server, along with these are the two majorly common features we'll install. One is the DB engine, along with the replication and integration service also, because there are internal tools are there like import export, okay, import export, generate script. There are internal tools. If you wanted to work with that internal tools, you must and should require the integration service. So that's the reason we will install integration service. And integration service is not that much expensive feature when you compare with the reporting service, when you compare with the analysis service, until unless you started creating the packages, deploying the packages, working with the lots of packages, then integration service also little expensive. Otherwise, integration service is a traditional feature only. So when you get a chance to install SQL Server, these are the three common features we'll select. Rest, if they're asking, we'll try to install. Otherwise, we will install only these features later on. In case after you install SQL Server, if you get a chance to install other features also, yes, sir, you can install it. You can install it. Later on also, you can install it. So what features we need to install? In general, in the real world, majority of the time, they will let you know in case they want any additional features like Power BI or analysis service. Okay, they will let you know. If they're not telling anything about the features, go for the default features. Go for the default features. You don't need any machine level language. So there are other also. Okay, machine learning. Okay, service. Machine learning service. Okay, will I wanted to install machine level service? Means if they are letting know, then you will install, sir. Otherwise, no, like a full text catalog. Okay, full text catalog. Okay, these are the services may or may not install. What are these? These are the services may or may not install, but definitely these three services will install. Mandatory will install in all the SQL servers. Okay, this depends on the requirement will install. Otherwise, no. Majority of the time, you may get a chance to work with this too. Okay, rare case you will get chance with the full text catalog. Uh, very rare case you may get a chance with the machine learning language and the polybase language. So very rare case. Okay, you may get a chance to work with these three services. But apart from this, these are very important, sir. We must and should know how to install. Okay, these services. This rare case, but anyhow, we are going to discuss the full text. We are going to discuss the polybase also, because when we are working with the external tables, means I wanted to work with especially with the external tables, definitely you need the polybase. And index full text catalog is also one of the most important concept in terms of indexing. So we are going to discuss about the full text catalog. Our first main focus will be these three services. Later on, these three will focus, and after that, these two also will focus. Is it clear what features we need to install? Everyone?
Yes,
So
sir.
service account is very important. And so whenever you get a chance to work with these two services, like a reporting services, analysis services, uh, you need to ask whether we need to run the SQL, whether we need to run these services with the default accounts, means local accounts, or we need any service accounts. We need any service accounts. See, in general, for the database engine, okay, we'll go for Access SQL server name. For example, see, for reporting services, what we will do in the real world means, if we are going for reporting services, majority of the time we'll go for the default. Okay. In case if they are asking to request, hey, we need the service account for reporting services, access RS. Okay, and the server name, dial SQL 45. So if you see that access RS means, oh, this is the reporting service account. Okay. So for analysis service also access Yes. Oh, this is analysis services. Easily to recognize which service account this is. It is for engine, it is for analysis service, it is for reporting services. Okay. Majority of the time, integration service will run with the local account. Majority of the time, integration service will run with the local accounts only. Okay, but if you want, you can change the integration services also. So these are all the services are very important, but mainly we are concentrating of the DB engine. Okay, service account. But in case you are installing reporting service or Power BI or analysis service, uh, you need to just raise a question whether we need to go for the default service account or whether we need any dedicated service account for reporting services or Power BI or analysis services. If yes, you need to ask about the service accounts and the passwords. They will provide you, sir. Please be careful when you are sharing the password. When you are asking the password, it should be only one-on-one. Okay. For example, you are asking John, "Hey, hi, John. So we are going to start the new build request most probably by within 1 hour. Will you please share the password in the separate email?" Okay. You should not share your passwords to the entire groups. Okay. That is very, very important, sir. When you are sharing the password also, for example, "Hi, John, we created so and so service account." Okay. Okay. And we are going to share the service account to you over the email, and we will share a separate email. Okay, the password with the password. So you should not keep anyone while you are sharing the password. Only one on one, either from you to John or John to you. Like this, one on one you need to share, and you should not ask the passwords. Majority of the time, don't ask the passwords, sir, because passwords are very sensitive. Passwords are very sensitive. So one is features. These are all the features as a DBA we need to take in care. But majority of the time, like 80 to 85% time, you will get a chance to install these three services. 15 to 20% you will get a chance these two, and 0.5% you will get a chance full text catalog. Polybase mostly knows are so far. Okay, machine level language also no machine level learning is nothing but like a Python. Okay, if you wanted to run the Python code directly from the SSMS, you can run it when you enable the machine learning language. So if you wanted to run the R language, if you wanted to run the Python language directly over the SQL server, yes, we can do it when you install machine learning service. Otherwise, no, sir, you can't run the Python, you can't run the R languages. Is it clear, everyone? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
once you are good at the what features I need to install, what version we need to install, what edition we need to install, on which server we need to install, and what is our service account. Okay. And we are having went to the server and verified all the binary file locations, means disks are healthy or not, everything. Now almost you are good to install the SQL server, sir. You're good to install the SQL server. But in general, if you wanted to install any service, okay, one most very important is server hardware. Okay, server hardware and software is very important. Okay, hardware and software. Okay, software nothing but OS. Software is nothing but OS. Is very important. Okay, see which operating system you are using. That is very important, sir. Which version you are trying to install and which operating system currently your server is configured. Whether that is compatible or not is also very, very important. See, when you go to the MS Info 32, you will get the system information 32. Okay, you will get the system information like which version. Okay, what is your operating system, which version, how the CPU is configured, how the memory is configured. You are getting the decent information when you open MS Info. That is very good for us, sir. Okay, to grab the knowledge. Now, first we'll go to the Google, sir. Now we'll ask, for example, you decide to install SQL Server 2000, okay, 22. SQL Server 2022, okay, hardware and software requirement. You are asking Microsoft itself because you are in the learning phase. You are asking a Microsoft. what Microsoft is saying. Okay, so when you scroll down, minimum Microsoft is expecting 1 GB of RAM. Okay, RAM, nothing but memory. Memory will plays a major role. What Microsoft is expecting, minimum 1 GB of RAM for all the editions. See, for all the editions. For Express edition, it's okay, fine. 512 MB is also fine. Okay, but all the editions, Microsoft is expecting 1 GB of RAM. Okay, memory. Okay, memory. For example, memory. So 1 GB of RAM. Okay, fine. When I open my system info, okay, MS info 32. So I'm having 16 GB of RAM. So I'm good. So total installed physical RAM is 16 GB. Oh, I'm good. I want only 1 GB of RAM to install SQL Server. I'm having 16 GB of RAM. That is so far good. Okay, fine. Next. Okay, CPUs. That is minimum, sir. I'm not talking about massive things. Minimum things if you decide to install SQL Server. Okay. Now, if you go for CPU, what Microsoft is saying, uh, minimum means your operating system should be running with a 64-bit operating system. See, when you go to here, it will show you system type is 64-bit. Majority of the time, it should be 64-bit, sir. 32-bit, no more. Okay, you never get a chance to install SQL Server in 32-bit operating system. Majority of the time, you will see 64-bit operating system only. So your system is 64-bit operating system, and your processor speed is 1.4 gigahertz per speed. Recommend is minimum 2 gigahertz per speed, and faster is also good. Now, if you go for here, my processor speed is okay 2 megahertz per speed. Okay, whatever Microsoft is expecting, okay, that speed I'm getting. I'm having that speed. Okay, fine. Well and good. Okay, minimum it is expecting 1.4 gigahertz per speed. The processor speed, I'm having 2 gigahertz per speed, and it's good. Okay, fine. It's fine. Now, at least minimum, sir, at least one core is fine to install SQL Server. At least minimum. These are the minimum things. One core with 1.4 okay gigahertz per speed. Is if it is your CPU, well and good. Well and good. Greater than. Okay, greater than. Otherwise, can't I install SQL Server Subbu? Yes, you can install, but little slow. Okay, little slow. A little slow. So memory, CPU, and disk is very important. Storage in the sense disk. Okay, disk. Disk is also very important. In terms of disk, okay, it will vary, sir, disk, because uh, how many databases you are going to place, how much data you are going to process, it will differs. Okay, uh, bare minimum at least, for example, 10 to 15 GB is fine. 10 to 15 GB is fine. If you wanted to install SQL Server, like make sure that there will be space of 10 to 15 GB of the space. That is well and good. Storage well and good. Later on, we will decide, sir, how much all the stuff, because how we are going to segregate the data files, log files, StemDB. That is completely capacity planning. So don't think about capacity planning. I will talk in the advanced level when you are going to build the SQL Server multiple times. Right? That time I will talk about the capacity planning. Okay, because to your experience is not enough to do the capacity planning in general, because to if you wanted to perform the capacity planning, so we need to know more about the infrastructure. Okay, what sort of application it is, how many users are trying to connect that application, how massive transactions you are performing, each transaction how much space it is consuming. Okay, and how frequently they will perform the transactions, all will comes into the picture, sir. It's not easy I can go and do simply this capacity planning. Okay, majority of the people will expect, okay, can I do the capacity planning? How you can estimate how many users are connect, how you can estimate the capacity planning, sir? Until unless you need to become strong on the application first. So you should know about how the transactions are performing, how many users are connecting, how frequently they are performing transaction, each transaction, how much size it is consuming. Okay, that information you need to get from the application team. Okay, usually this is a massive brand new server. I can't directly go and estimate until unless you are having the previous experience knowledge, like you are able to see the similar kind of application which is already running on the system, and where you observed how the data growth. See, for example, uh, today there is a massive load, and almost 5 to 6 GB it grown for today. Your database sizes, all the database sizes grown to 5 to 6 GB. Tomorrow also 5 to 6 GB. Day after tomorrow also 5 to 6 GB. Now on base, average base, okay, 5 to 6 GB every day it is growing. Okay, then you should calculate for 1 month. Okay, then you should calculate for 1 year. Okay, for 1 month. So 30 into 5, 150 GB on an average. Every month your database is growing. Every month your database is growing on an average 150 GB it is growing. For 1 year, how much it will grow? Okay, into 12, 150 GB into 12. That much size you need to give to the disk. Okay, so capacity planning is not that easy. Okay, until unless you need to get the complete infrastructure, means you need to know about how the database they are going to design. Okay, database architect can having more capability for the capacity planning, sir. See, I know experienced people are expecting many things, but in general, I'm saying, if you want to do the capacity planning, you should aware of the application, right? What sort of database what sort of database it is. Either you are going to keep only one database, or you are going to keep massive databases in that instance. And each database, how many users are connecting, how frequently they are connecting, how transactions they are performing, whether they are mainly on loading the data, like inserts. See, update deletes we are not worrying, because update is already data is there, you are updating the data. So all these points we need to come into here in our mind. Okay, so before we think about the capacity planning, so how we need to think as a DBA, Subbu, is, okay, being we are not a database architect, we are completely unaware of how the structure is. Then how we can plan means, that is a different story, sir. Basically, I will talk when we are discussing about the data file, log file full alerts. Okay, we are not worrying about the log file. We are not worrying about the temp-db. We are worrying about the data files, sir. You need to do a little best configuration for the data files. If you're how you are doing the best configuration for data files depends on log files, tempdb. You can calculate, like majority of the time industry experts are saying 20 to 25%. Okay, you will keep, so for example, your database size is 1 GB. Okay, your data file size is 1 GB, like 250 MB I will keep the log file. Okay, 250 MB I can keep the tempdb size. So 20 to 25% will keep the size of our tempdb. We'll keep the size of our temp based on our disk capacity. So capacity planning is not that easy. When we are thinking what do you mean by capacity planning, Subbu? Until unless you should aware of the complete infrastructure about that instance. Okay, I don't want miscommunicate with you, sir. That's what the capacity planning is. You should know about how many users are connecting, how massive loads they are performing, and what kind of loads they are doing. Either they are inserting the data, means loading the data, or they are manipulating the data. See, manipulation is won't affect, but loading the data is very important, right? There are two kind of modification you will do. One you will load, one you will manipulate. Okay, manipulate doesn't affect any storage, but load definitely will affect the storage. So you should monitor the server. Being we don't have any third party there are a lot of third party monitoring tools, performance monitoring tools, like Spotlight, Adira, SolarWind. Okay, those are the DPA tools, database performance analyzer tools. You need to integrate the servers to the DPA tools. Okay, then you need to monitor the servers. Okay, so last week how much data growth? Okay, before that how much data growth? For at least 1 or 2 months, you need to monitor the growth of your database. Then you can estimate by calculating for monthly, by calculating for weekly first, by calculating monthly, then by calculating yearly. Then you can estimate if I'm increasing my disk capacity to this much, okay, at least I can stock my data full alert for 1 year. Okay, but we can't guarantee, right? We don't know, sir, how the massive load. Maybe so mass roughly they are loading 1 billion records. Okay, on and suddenly they can load 10 billion records. I can give you one simple example, sir. When I was working with the previous one of the client, so that is a new project to us, and we started working with, and I got a replication alert saying that replication is out of sync. Then when we verified, there is a call undistributed data. So data need to be distributed. When I verified, 45 to 50 billion records is not yet transferred to the subscriber, to the target. And I got little panic. Oh my God, why this much of data is not transferred? Then I was a new, I don't want to make the strong decisions there. Then I talked to UK team saying that, okay, yeah, I got the critical alert by saying that this many transactions are not delivered. Being it is a month end and month starting. Last week, first week of the month, okay, this is expected, they are saying. And you are seeing only minimal, Subbu. Okay, sometimes there may be 200 billion records, 350 billion records also sometimes not delivered. Then I got okay. Then upon working on the project, I realized okay, this is a common issue only. Because at the month ending, month starting, we definitely notice 100 to 150 billion records won't transfer. Because massive loads are, it's not like one record inserting, one record updating, like us when we are doing the training. In the real world, you will see the billions of records are processing. So you should understand the infrastructures. Okay, capacity planning. Yes, we can do the capacity planning, but initial capacity planning, after capacity planning, these are two things. Initial, it's very tough to us because we don't know about the application. You need to talk to them. You need to estimate. Okay, because how the table structure is, that is, see, I am not blaming you, sir. Okay, how the table structure means you are creating a table, one table. How many columns are there? And what is the data types? What is the size of the data types? If you're loading one record, how much size that record will be? Then start estimating from there. Will you do all this stuff? No. No, sir. Okay. I hope you are getting my point, everyone. See, initial phase is very tough until unless you know about the entire database structure. How many tables are there? How many columns are there? What are the data type? If I'm recording one record, how much size that record is fitting? Okay, if I'm record 1 billion records, how much size it will fit? Then calculate that one. How many records they are processing in a weekly, in an average base. Now, if you're having patience, you can do all this stuff. Then you can good at the capacity planning. Okay. After, yes, because we already having some we can go for backups. Okay, so we'll see the backup size. Okay, last week what is the backup size? Oh, 250 MB. Okay, this week backup size is 750 MB. Next week backup size is 1 GB, 1.1.25. Means on an average weekly 500 MB is growing. Okay, then roughly for weekly you should calculate. Roughly for monthly you should calculate. At least you can calculate for 1 year, and you can tell that, hey, if I'm increasing the disk capacity this much, okay, maybe we can avoid the data file full alert for next 12 months. 12 months we can't get any full alert, data file full alerts. But how many databases are fitting on the instance is also very important, right? If you are estimating one database, what about other databases? Yes, we can do the capacity planning, but It is a process. There are a lot of processor. Clear, everyone, especially for experienced people. These many things you should get, sir. I will show you once we complete the installation. Whenever you are inserting one record, how much size it is consuming internally. Okay, if you start deep down that one, yeah, you are good at the capacity planning. Majority of the people ask the capacity planning. Our experience is not that much, sir. Okay, so far I done the capacity planning after, not before, because majority of the time they won't involve us. That's the biggest problem for us, and it's upon our interest, sir. Okay, how we are looking on one ticket is very very important. Okay, yeah. So server hardware OS is also very important. Like OS operating system is very important. If you go to the same, if you scroll down, okay, clearly Microsoft is saying that which operating systems are compatible for SQL Server 2022. Okay, which operating systems are compatible? See, when you take your laptops, Windows, at least Windows 10 home base, professional, enterprise, okay, Windows 11. If you are using Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 7, it is not compatible to install SQL Server 2022. Either you can go for Windows 10 or you can go for Windows 11. So this technically, in general, we are using in our local laptops. When you go to the professional, okay, there will be servers, Windows servers, okay, like a Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2019, Windows Server 2022, Windows Server 2025. Like when you go to the older versions, if you go to the older versions, like Windows Server, okay, see Windows Server 2012, Windows Server 2012 R2, like you are having different versions. Like this technically we'll call it as servers, okay, Windows servers. So in real world, we will install majority of the time we will install SQL Server on the Windows servers. Majority of the times. Rare case, you may also install SQL Server in the traditional Windows, like Windows 10, Windows 11 also. Like when we used to work for one of the client, like for that client, almost 100 servers there. They used to maintain 100 servers, 100 SQL servers. One or two servers are installed in Windows 11 and Windows 10. Okay, so rest 98 servers are in the Windows servers only. So you may also get a chance to work with the Windows 11 also in the real world. Got it?
So go ahead here, data center standard essentials. These are additions for Windows servers, right?
Yes, these are the editions. Like for SQL also there are editions, right? Like for Windows also there are editions. Data center edition, standard edition. Majority of the time you'll go for standard edition, or sometimes you'll go for the data center edition also. Its fines are
Oh,
almost both are similar only.
okay.
Yeah. So operating system version is also very, very important, sir. Got it? Yes? No, everyone? Okay? Not okay. Operating system, OS, like Windows, okay? Windows Server, okay? 2022, for example. Fine. Okay? This is something. When I talk to disk, okay? Uh, I will talk in advanced level, sir. Right level. Okay? The experienced people I'm telling. And NTFS file system. Okay? Uh, when you are attending interview, especially when they are raising a question on the desk, definitely they will ask you that which RAID level you will choose for SQL servers. RAID 1, RAID 0, RAID 10, RAID 01. Okay, which RAID level you will prefer when you are going for disk? This is very important question. And what file system you will go? If you while you are configuring, while you are initializing the disk, okay, it will definitely ask the which file system you need to go. Majority of the time we'll choose the NTFS file system. What do you mean by NTFS file system? So this type of questions you may come across when you are especially they are raising a question on the disk. We will talk in the advanced levels. This is high level. Some people can't understand now. Okay, so CPU is very important, memory is very important, disk is very important, and the write level is also very important. NTFS file system is also very important. OS is very important. This is hardware level, a software and hardware level. Is it clear, everyone? No? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. See, if you wanted to install SQL Server, you need a .NET framework. Okay, .NET framework is very, very important. .NET framework means nothing but the graphical user interface. See, whenever you are starting the setup file, when you are starting the setup file, okay, .exe file, you will get one wizard, setup wizard, where you will click on next, 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 next. That you are calling as a graphical user interface. So to make that graphical user interface, Microsoft is using the .NET framework. .NET is a Microsoft product only, and framework is nothing but GUI format. Okay, so graphical .NET framework is also very, very important, sir. .NET framework. Okay, .NET framework version. If you go for .NET framework version, this is also very, very important. So we are having these many versions. If I go to Wikipedia, go for Wikipedia, sir. Okay, now these are the something very important. See, you know about the SQL Server versions, right? SQL Server started with the SQL 1.0, 2.0, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, 7.0. SQL Server 2000, 2005, 8, 8, R2, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 22, 25. Like how Microsoft is upgrading the SQL Server version by version. Same in the backend. In the backend, .NET framework is also upgrading. .NET framework is also upgrading. So, for example, if you go for 10 years back, sir, now you are in 2025. If you go for 10 years back, means uh, 2015. Okay, 2015, or you go for 15 years back. Okay, 2010. That time we are going to use the SQL Server 2005 also. If you get a chance to install SQL Server 2005, okay, 2005, you should .NET Framework 2.0 is the mandatory. Okay, before you start the SQL Server 2005 installation, make sure that .NET Framework 2.0 is installed on your machine. .NET Framework is installed on your machine. Okay, so version by version, Microsoft started enhancing the .NET Framework also. Now we are in .NET Framework 4.8.1. .NET Framework 4.8.1. Now, and for example, how I can get to know Subbu, which is the latest .NET Framework we are using. If you go to the control panel, okay, if you go to the control panel, and if you go to the programs, if you go to the turn Windows features on and off, okay, now here you will see .NET Framework 3.5, okay, is also is not a mandatory, but it is also mandatory for the older versions. .NET Framework 3.5 includes .NET Framework 2.0 and 3.0, along with you are getting latest .NET Framework 4.8. Okay, when you are going to build your operating system, by default you are getting .NET Framework 4.8. It is an inbuilt you are getting, so you no need to explicitly install .NET Framework, sir. Inbuilt, once you build the operating system, means your Windows team will build the operating system. Inbuilt, you will get the .NET Framework 4.8. But okay, you can also suggest to work with the Windows team. So you no need to install this, sir. You need to tell to Windows team, hey, can you install .NET Framework 3.5 also? Okay, .NET Framework 3.5 also. Just nothing. Currently, for example, it is unchecked. Okay, unchecked means it is not installed, sir. Now what you will do, if you just click on here, okay, and click on OK. That's it. It will automatically install. It will automatically install. You need internet connection. If your server contains internet connection, it will automatically install .NET Framework 3.5. Okay, is it mandatory, Subbu? Means from SQL Server 2019, 2017 onwards, .NET Framework 3.5 is not a mandatory. But for older system like SQL Server 2012, 2014, even you are having the latest .NET Framework. So, for example, if I go for 2016 year, okay, that time .NET Framework 4.62 is there. Even you are having .NET Framework 6.2, you need .NET Framework 3.5 also. Okay, some of the features, any one of these features, whatever you are installing, is still using .NET Framework 3.5 and below versions. Now majority of the stuff like 2022, 2025, 2019, if you're having the latest .NET framework, it is fine, sir. But older systems, still you need .NET Framework 3.5. It is not a mandatory now. If you're having latest .NET Framework, that is good. You are good to go for installing the SQL Server. And by default, you are getting the latest version while you are going to build the operating system. Got it? No? Yes? Understood, sir? So if you get a chance to install SQL Server 2005, what is the .NET Framework you mandatory need to be installed, sir? .NET Framework? So 2005. If you go for 2005, okay, 2.0. Okay, so there is no more 2. SQL Server 2005, sir. No need to thanks. Okay, we are good. So .NET Framework is also very important. Sir. And next thing is Windows installer. Windows installer. This is the mandatory, sir. If you go to the run command, okay, if you go to the run command, so MSI exec, if you go to the run, you will get the Windows installer information, not only SQL Server. If you want to install any service, anything on an operating system, you need to make sure that Windows installer need to be running. Okay, so ultimately, when you build the operating system, you will get the latest Windows installer only. That is too good for you to perform your SQL Server installation. So Windows installer is also mandatory. So these are the hardware software requirements. Memory, CPU, storage, OS, .NET Framework, Windows installer. Got it? No? Yes? Everyone? Are you there, online people?
Yes.
Okay. Now. Okay. Now. Couple of more things, sir. Okay, this is little technical. Okay, little technical. Authentication. Okay. So we are having two types of authentication. One is Windows. One is mixed. Okay. One is Windows. One is mixed. When we are talking about the security, okay. Once we start the security, we'll talk more about what is this authentications. What is Windows authentication? What is mixed authentication? If you go for mixed authentication, you need to set the password for SA. Okay, SA password. Okay, if you are going for only Windows authentication, well and good, sir. No worries. Well and good, no worries. If you are going for mixed authentication, you need the password for SA. SA is nothing but system administrator account. Okay, so this is also one of the most important prerequisites. Okay, majority of the time we'll go for the mixed authentication. Okay, majority of the time we'll go for mixed authentication, but we won't use the mixed is nothing but mixed is nothing but Windows logins. Okay, L and SQL logins. Okay, Windows logins and SQL logins. So mixed authentication means you can connect SQL Server Windows using Windows logins. You can connect SQL Server using SQL logins. You can create the logins via SQL level. You can create the logins via Windows level. Windows level also you can create and SQL level also you can create. Both logins are compatible. Both logins you can access the SQL Server. But majority of the time we won't encourage the SQL logins, not secured logins. We will always try to trust the Windows logins. So that's the reason. Then why Subbu we will go for mixed authentication? We can go for Windows authentication only, right? As per the best practice. Then why we are going means uh, there may be a situation like application is having some compatibility issue with the Windows logins. That application is not compatible to the Windows login. Then definitely you should go for the SQL login. For example, for example, you are getting data from the Oracle. Okay, uh, you, you wanted to get the data from the Oracle. Whatever the data getting from Oracle, you are loading into the SQL servers. That time, Oracle is not compatible for the Windows login, sir. Oracle is compatible for the SQL logins. So, in case your application is having some compatibility issues with the Windows login, then definitely we'll go for the SQL login. Okay, so SQL logins also healthy only, but why it is not secure, Subbu? I will talk more, sir, in terms of security. So as of now, make a note down. Authentication is also a very important parameter. Which authentication mostly we'll prefer while we are installing SQL servers. This also you need to ask in the KT, sir. While we are installing SQL Server, what type of authentications we'll use majority, mixed mode or Windows mode. So if they're telling mixed mode, what login will you, what password will you use for SA account? Either we'll use the common passwords or it will differs. Application to application it is differing. Okay. And who will maintain this SA password is also very, very important, sir. Who will maintain this password? Either we will maintain the password or AppStream will maintain the password. Okay, AppStream will maintain the password. Who will maintain this password? That is also very, very important. So slowly you can digest all this stuff. Okay, don't get confused. I will come back this one in the security. Okay, we will come back in the future concepts. Every concept I will come back slowly, sir. You will become strong. Don't think that too much stuff to install SQL Server. These are all the mandatory things. Now, last but not least, ports also very, very important. Ports. Okay. Ports. Okay. Means default ports. So by default, SQL Server will run, okay, will run 1433 port number by default. By default, SQL Server will run 1433 port number. Can I change the port number? Yes, you can change the port number. You can change the port number. You can change the SQL Server port number. So by default, what port we are using in entire this project? So some people will prefer, we won't prefer to use 1433 because that is globally knows the port. Global people knows SQL Server is listening 1433 port number. Postgres is listening 5432 port number. Okay, you know about the DevOps tools, right? Jenkins will listen 8080 port number. Reporting services will use the 8080 port number and 453 port number. 453 port number. So each and every services they are using some unique default port numbers. Okay, majority of the people knows that stuff. So majority of the stuff we will avoid to use the default port numbers to secure our data connections, everything from the hackers. So which port we are using for entire project? Entire project will use the only one port, sir. We won't use the every instance different ports. Okay, majority of the time you will see the default ports only. Sometimes you will see different ports also. We'll talk about the ports in the upcoming, how to change, where to change. If I'm changing the port number, what are the things I need to take in care? All the stuff we'll talk. And one more ports are UDP port number. UDP. Okay, UDP port is 1434. Nothing but SQL Server browser. So if you are using SQL Server browser, if you are using SQL Server browser, and you need to enable the port call 1434 port number. UDP SQL Server browser port number opened for SQL browser service. Okay, browser service. For this, you are going to use 1434 port number. And if you are going for high availability like AG, mirroring, mirroring, you will use 5022 port number. Okay, if you are using WFC, Windows Failure Cluster, 3343 port number. Okay, if you're using Azure VMs, Okay, Azure VMs. So 1089 port number. Okay, 1089 only, right? Yes, yes. And if you are using Linux servers, okay, Linux server 22 is the port number. So, what is your platforms? What are the services we are using? For what we are installing SQL Server? What is the main need? See, it's not like in a day you can learn everything, all this stuff. Sir. I mean to say, okay. So the people who are starting the journey, for you, yours, I'm saying especially in the day one, I will expert in SQL installation. No, okay. Experienced people can understand all these terminologies, but in terms of uh, laterals, the people who are starting, it's very tough to understand all these concepts. So slowly we'll understand, sir, what are the ports we need to enable. For example, if we are using SSRS, okay, if you are using SSRS, like 80 is the port number, 445 is the port number, okay. So port number for reporting services or Power BI services, okay. The latest reporting Power BI, they are using 445 port number. All this will comes into the picture. What are the things you are? So ports also one of the most important concept. As of now, just remember, okay, ports is also important. Authentication is very important. Okay, authentication is very important. Ports are very important. Futures are very important. Software hardware is very important. Okay. Uh, yeah, I think majority of the stuff I explained, sir. Okay, I'm not going to the deep dive. Okay, but majority of the good stuff I explained, sir. Got it, everyone? No? Yes?
Yeah. Yeah, Subha, I have a small doubt regarding
Yes.
ports and IP address. Yeah, if you are installing new build server, no, automatically one port will be generated, no, for named instance like 59513, like something. How will decide which port? If the port is already opened, how it will take background? I will
See,
which team?
basically, there is a transition phase. See, how you will become strong in the project means you need to start your journey from the transition phase. Okay, what do you mean by transition phase? So there is an application. For that application, they need SQL. Now, when you go to the call, you will raise all the questions to AppStream. Okay, so you know about SQL Server is listening 1433 port number. Now you
Yeah.
will ask, will I need to use 14333 port number, or will you are expecting any port number? In when you compare with other applications. So see, we are supporting 150 applications. Each application having three environments: production, development, test. Means each application having three servers. 150 into 3. How many, sir? 450 servers we are
450.
maintaining. Okay. How many instances they are installing in the each server? That is also very important. How they are maintaining the ports. Then if any new client is getting and is not technically strong, you need to educate them, sir. Tell them that by comparing, okay, you already aware of remaining 450 servers, right? So now you will go and hey, they are using default port number 143. Will you want to use the 143, or will you are expecting anything? Okay. Now they will let us know, okay, I don't want to go for default port number to secure my thing. They will ask you, if I go for default, what is the challenge? Means maybe majority of the time hackers knows about the port number, right? Hackers knows about the SQL Server port number. They can hack in case they are breaking any our firewalls. If they are breaking our firewalls, they can easily hack because they know the port number. So I don't want to prefer port number 1433. I need conquered firewalls, secured firewalls. Then I can go for different port number, and I can let them know, oh, this is the port number. From this range to this range, you can go for port numbers. I will share you one blog, sir, where it will represent how what are the ports are using. Like so far, we don't know about these are the ports for SSRS, Linux, Azure VMs, WFC, Aegis. Okay, zero to 65,435 ports are there for us. You can use any one of the port from zero to you can prefer any one port, sir. See, You can suggest them, okay, this ports we can go, which port you can prefer. Okay, currently these ports are free, no one is using. Yeah, there is
Okay.
nothing. See, always there are two kind of application team you will see. One is well educated, not educated, sorry, well knowledgeable application team. Okay, lateral application team. If he's highly a highly known person, he is very smarter than us. Correct? Because he already smart in application, he already strong in the SQL also. He will raise these questions to you, so then you need to be answered all this stuff. So if you are going for named instance or any instance, see, one thing is very important. If you are going for multiple instance in same server, okay, when you go for, see, you never install multiple instance on same server in the real world. In your laptops you are installing, sir, but in the real world, one server, one instance. Majority of the time, one server, one instance. Like 99% one server, one instance. Only that 0.01% you may also see one more instance, sir. Okay, if you're having multiple instances on the same server, then what about the other instance of Bhumis? That is how you need to ask a question, basically. Then every instance need to run with the unique port number always. Okay, always every instance need to run with the unique port numbers. You should not use the same port number. For example, can I use the same port number for multiple servers in this? Sorry, multiple instance on the same server? No, you can't use it. Every instance need to run with the unique port number. That you are not the decision maker. Provide some randomized port numbers, okay, to the customer. He can choose any port number. That port you need to set for the SQL. Make sure that port you need to enable at the firewall level. You need to
That's
talk to industry and you need to enable the firewalls.
yeah.
Okay.
For log shipping and all, we have different port numbers is there, no? For 445, 135, something for especially for log shipping.
Whatever port you are going, that port you need to enable at the firewall level. So there is nothing like, see, whatever port you can go for SQL, there is nothing problem. When the problem will start, authentication, and you are disabling the SQL browser. Basically, we won't enable the SQL browser, sir, in the real world. We'll disable the SQL browser as part of the SQL hardening. There is a concept called SQL hardening. If I go for core technical, there is a concept called SQL hardening. Means SQL best practices. As part of the SQL best practices, you should not encourage to enable the SQL browser service. Okay, you should disable the SQL Server browser service. If I am disabling the SQL browser service, means application team need to pass the port number. If they are trying to connect to the SQL, they need to pass the port number mandatorily. Okay.
Yes,
So how we are thinking is also very, very important, sir. I will talk all this stuff mostly tomorrow. Okay, I need to know about, once we install, we'll talk more. And this week we'll complete the infrastructure configuration. Okay, Saturday, one session I will take about Azure infrastructure. Okay, how to build from scratch to advanced level infrastructure, and mostly today or tomorrow, I will plan for the on-prem infrastructure. 2 days. Okay, I will create the 2 webinars. My deployment is done. I was free, sir. Mostly today or tomorrow, because I'm having meeting at 8 to 9. I don't know how long it will take. Okay, because when we done the last time patches, all the patches went not well suddenly. Okay, and maybe we schedule again for this weekend. Not sure what are the challenges we will face. Not SQL patches, Windows patches. Okay, Windows patches are little headaches when you compare with the SQL patches. Okay, is it clear? No? Yes?
Yes.
And I will provide you one checklist, sir, today. Okay, after the session, Excel sheet. Okay, I will upload in our Google Drive and I will share the link. Okay, just make it that checklist also little handy. Okay, at least bare minimum things you will get to know if you're doing from the scratch level. Got it? So now you are good to install SQL Server, sir, because see, in the real world, I am saying all these stuffs are mandatory. Okay. When you are going for your local laptop, will all this are mandatory, Subhamis? I mean to say no. Okay. Technically speaking, as a trainer, I can't say this answer. No. Okay. But being we don't have infrastructure because due to lack of busy, I not yet build the infrastructure so far, sir. Once I start building the infrastructure, I will show you this kind of installation. Okay. As of now, a general DBA who don't know anything SQL, how they will perform installation, that I will show today. Is it fine, right? Everyone? Yes, no? See, just open the setup, will click on next. Okay, done. Our SQL installation is done. We are good. Okay, we are good. That installation now I will show you. Next demo. Okay, in this week, 2 demos I will show you. 1 demo in on-prem, 1 demo in the cloud to save our time, sir. Again, I'm honestly saying, sir, why Subbu, you are taking as a webinars means I need to spend more time on the performance tuning. Okay, from this batch onwards, I don't want waste our time to build the infrastructures on the live sessions. Okay, let's spend a separately for 1 hour, 2 hours, because infrastructure configuration is not a easy, sir. Minimum 1.5 hour to 2 hours we need to spend. Okay, that time we are spending additionally, you are getting 2 hours more where we can spend more time on the performance tuning, troubleshooting, sir. Okay, so to bring more troubleshooting to our training, I am making in the form of webinars. Okay, don't think it differently. Okay, that is only one thing, sir, from my point of view. Okay, why we are bringing the webinar, Subham, is I want to spend more time on the performance tuning, because half of the people are experienced people, half of the people are laterals. Laterals, no problem. Whatever I am saying, you will trust me. But the experienced people are expecting more performance tuning, sir. Okay, so for you people only, I'm planning this one. Okay, I am trying to bring additional sessions so that I can spend more time on the performance tuning. Okay, fine, sir. That's it. I don't want waste now. Any questions before we start the installation? Anyone? Any questions? No? Yes? Are you there? Everyone?
Subbu,
Yeah.
this these notes, are we going to get them or
Oh, this one
anyway?
I will share it, sir. I will share it. Today we'll keep it in the video description. Along with you will get the checklist link also.
Okay.
Okay. Now, sir. Okay. See, now I'm not directly going for SQL Server 2022 sir installation. Before that, we are having 12 minutes of time. It's good. I wanted to show you a little differently. Okay. See, assume if you go for 10 to 15 years ago, not now, sir. You used to get a chance to install SQL Server 2000. Used to get a chance to install SQL Server 2008, 2005, 2008 R2. Okay. For example, if you are getting a chance to install SQL Server 2005, how our installation looks like, that's what I wanted to show you, sir. Okay. Now see, either you already downloaded or your application team is copied. Okay. See, either you will copy the setup file or application team will copy the setup file to the server. As imagine setup file is already copied. Okay. Now you will go for SQL Server 2005. Okay. SQL Server 2005. And this is your SQL Server 2005 ISO files. When you double click on the ISO file, you will see these folders. Like earlier, 15 years ago, there is a Windows Titanium operating system also. Okay. Now no more, sir. Leave it about Titanium. So we'll talk about 32-bit operating system. We'll talk about 64-bit operating system, not Titanium operating system. See, wherever you see x86 means that is a 32-bit. Blindly, okay, you need to make a note down whatever software you are installing. If you see the folder name or if you see the file name x86, blindly you should get an idea. This is our 32-bit. So this is our 32-bit, not 64-bit. Okay, so been earlier, like 15 years ago, there is a 32-bit operating system, there is a 64-bit operating system, there is a Itanium operating system. Now, no more Itanium operating system, no more 32-bit operating system. Now you will go for only 64-bit operating system. Okay, so now if you go for 32-bit operating system, same kind of folders you will see, sir. Okay, maybe the folder names will be little vary, but similar kind of stuff. Okay, you will see the servers, you will see the tools. When I go to the tools, okay, so there is a folder called Redigit. Okay, here Microsoft itself is providing the Windows installer. Microsoft itself is providing the .NET framework. See, you no need to explicitly download. See, as I told you, these two are also mandatory. .NET framework is mandatory. Windows installer is mandatory. What Microsoft is doing, Microsoft itself providing .NET framework 2.0. Microsoft itself is providing the Windows installer also. Got it? No? Yes. Everyone. So, but now you no need to go for the tools or Redigit, sir. It's already predefined. Now you no need to worry. But older system, 10 to 15 years ago, I'm talking, sir, not now. Now what you will do, you will directly go to the 64-bit operating system. You will directly go to the servers. Okay. Now here you will see the setup file called setup.exe. These are the binary files, dependency files. Okay. And at least, I mean to say, okay, try to remember these folder names: 1033, resident, setup. At least these folder names. When I open 1033, you will see some binary files here. Okay, I will show you the latest. You will see the binary files here also. Okay, there is no folder called tools now. Folder tools are already duplicated. Sir. Okay, but reset is there, setup is there. When you go to the setup file also, here also, you will see all the SQL Server internal setup files. Internal setup files. But you no need to worry, you won't do anything in these setup files. What you will do, in the main folder itself, there is a application called setup.exe. You need to run this setup.exe. Okay, either if you go for 32-bit operating system, okay, either you go for 64-bit operating system, setup file will be traditional only. So right click and run the setup file. So right click and run the setup file. So when you run the setup file, run as administrator, that is one of the best practice we'll follow, sir. Okay, you will get this kind of warning. Okay, because these operating systems are not compatible. So you will get this warning. No worries, cancel this one. You will get this kind of wizard. See, when you get a chance to install SQL Server 2025, this is how your wizard looks like. Okay, like same. Okay, if I go for SQL Server 2008, okay, 2008. Okay, see, when you open the SQL Server 2008 setup file also, here also see the folder structure has been changed, right? So when you go for SQL Server 2005, when you go for SQL Server 2005, this is 2008. See, when you go for SQL Server 2005, you will see SQL Server Itanium, SQL Server x64, you will see x86, 32-bit. When you go for SQL Server 2008, it has been slightly changed the folder names. Okay, it has been slightly changed the port name. Itanium 64, traditional 64-bit operating system, and 32-bit operating system. The folders also upgrading. The binary files also changing, sir. When you expand here 64, you will see the servers tools. But when you go for here 1033, help, reset, setup. See, definitely the folder success has been changing, little changing. The files also little changing. The here and there, The changes has been making by the Microsoft version by version. Okay, version by version. Then at least bare minimum, I am saying what you need to remember the folder name is 1033 real digits set a file. At least you need to remember this. Very, I can say very stupid people, sir. Okay, they will ask these folder names while you are attending interviews. Okay, definitely those people are very stupid people, sir. Okay, usually we won't remember all this stuff, but remembering is not a wrong, and asking the question is not a wrong, because maybe they completely doubt on you, they quoted you, and they're asking a basic bare minimum simple things. Okay, so that time at least you need to remember the folder names. When I go for SQL Server 2008, okay, you will see the folder called IA64, X64, X86, and here also you will see the setup file. You can open the setup file, run as administrator. You won't see any warnings, sir. Okay, it will take a while and it will pop up. See, it is coming. SQL Server 2008, SQL Server 2005 setup file, SQL Server 2008 setup file. So when you compare with SQL Server 2005, SQL Server 2008 file is massively upgraded by Microsoft. See, massively changed. Are you able to see massive changes? Are you able to see massive changes? Everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The massive changes has been. Now here, see, here it is just end user license agreement. You need to accept the license agreement. You need to click on next, next, next. But when you go for SQL Server 2008 onwards, okay, if you wanted to see the hardware software requirement, security documents, okay, system configuration checker. So when you run this one, it will check your system and it will validate whether your system is compatible to install SQL Server 2008. Okay, see, it will provide you the report also. It checked almost 14. All are got passed. No warnings, no errors, nothing. So Microsoft upgraded your infrastructure interface. This technically we'll call it as an interface. How this is updated? With help of .NET framework only. Okay, this is the framework. Okay, which is designed with the .NET framework, sir. This is the infrastructure interface which is designed in the background with the .NET framework. So version by version, Microsoft enhanced a lot. So majority of the stuff in the SQL Server 2022 to the 19, you will see same kind of interface only, but here and there, little features are changing. Little features are changing. Got it? No, yes. So when you get a chance to install SQL Server 2005, how the interface look like? When you are getting a chance to install SQL Server 2008 onwards, how the interface look like? Majority of this time, Microsoft changed. Now, if I want to install SQL Server, you will go for installation and click on New SQL Server standalone installation or add features to existing installation. I will talk about, sir. I missed this point. Okay, but when you go for 2005, you need to just accept the licensing. Click on next. Okay, you will get one more wizard. You need to click on install. Okay, it is checking the all the things and it will ask you to install the product. Okay, then click on next. Okay, again you will get this kind of warning. No worries, click on cancel. Okay, and it is checking the system configuration, everything, and it will ask you to promote to install. Okay, definitely this installation will fail, sir. Okay, no more SQL Server 2005. Definitely this installation will fail because your operating system is not compatible for this interface. Okay, definitely it will fail. So now it is checking. See, there are no errors. Okay, so warnings, it's okay, it's all fine, but errors means definitely you need to stop your installation, because definitely if you go forward, your installation will get failed. Okay, it should be always success, past. Success means past or warnings. Okay, fine, sir. Okay, fine. So no worries about the other stuff. Errors means definitely don't go for the installation, sir. You need to go to the error and you need to fix that error before you start the installation. Otherwise, definitely your installation will get failed. Okay, get failed. Now click on next. Now this is how it is asking. So here you need to provide the license key. Okay, you need to provide the license key. So now see, it is asking license key. Now everyone is having one doubt. What about the license key, Subbu? Now to bring that one, I will provide the license key, sir. Okay. See, for evaluation edition, the license key is 00000000000 all zeros, sir. This is the license key for the evaluation edition. When you go for evaluation edition, okay, when you go especially go for evaluation edition, it will work for 6 months, sir. After 6 months, you need to uninstall SQL, again reinstall SQL, again it will work for 6 months. Okay, every 6 months your license will be expired. Every 6 months your license will be expired. So every 6 months you need to uninstall and reinstall the SQL Server. If I wanted to install Express Edition, see, setup file is the same. Setup file is same. Okay, either you are going for SQL Server 2005 or you are going for SQL Server 2008. Okay, either you are going for 32-bit or 64. Setup file is not changing. What it is changing, the license key it is changing. Okay, if I want to install Evaluation Edition, you will provide this license key. If I want to install Developer Edition 2222 and rest are the 00. This will install the Developer Edition. This will install the Express Edition. This will install the Evaluation Edition. By default, it is Evaluation Edition only, sir. Majority time will download. Now, okay, now, if I don't want Evaluation Edition, Subbu, I don't want Express Edition, Developer Edition, I want Enterprise Edition, Standard Edition, means I will provide some keys, sir. Okay, I will provide some keys. You can use any one of these key to install the product. Okay, to install the, see, can I use the same license key in the real world? No. Again, I am saying, please, sir, you should not use these keys in the real world. Okay, only for demo purpose, practicing purpose only you should use. Please, this is very important point you need to remember. You should not use any one of these keys in the real world. Only when you are practicing in the lab environment, you want to experience like Enterprise Edition, you want experience like a Standard Edition, then you can use this license key. Are you okay, everyone? I hope you understood what I wanted to convey. No? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Understood.
Okay. So this is very important. So this I will talk next demo. So these are the keys.
So
I will.
this 2022 it's gonna expire within 6 months as well.
No, sir. These are Enterprise Edition, right? No, it won't expire. But we should not use these keys in the real world.
Okay.
Okay. This is only for lab purpose, only for student purpose. Okay.
Okay.
Note. This is very important. Okay. If you see, you are having a doubt. See, when you are learning phase, you are having one enthusiasm. So I need to experience the Enterprise Edition. I need to experience the Standard Edition, right? For them, sir. Okay. Got it? So I will provide you 2019 key, 2022 key. While you are installing SQL Server 2019 or 2022, you can use this key to get experience about how the Enterprise Edition looks like. Okay? Not okay, everyone. So this is about the license key, sir. I will show you in a while. Now, you can provide the license key. I think I'm having SQL Server 2005. No, my bad. Okay, I can go for Evaluation Edition key. Copy this one, go to here, and I can show you 2008. Okay. Oh, already one setup file is running. I can't run. Oh, I know. I need to cancel this one. Then I will. Okay. Let's show you first SQL Server 2008, 2005, sir, how it looks like. Then you can provide your name and company name. Okay. Organization name. It's not a mandatory. If you want, you can. Don't provide your name, sir. Okay. Project name you can provide. And organization name, means client name you can provide. Client name you can provide. And click on next. Okay, now it is asking to install database service, analysis service, notification service, integration service. Okay, and other workstation, other services. Okay, what features I need to install? Now, Subbu, you told that data files need to go for OneDrive, log files need to go for OneDrive. Where I can go here means you need to go to the advanced option. Okay, then here data files, where I need to place data files, okay, where I need to place. So I can go for the disk cost. Okay, now how many disks are there? How much free space is there? So I can get more stuff here, sir. Okay, I can get more stuff if I wanted to go for browse, and I wanted to place in the different drive. My data files I need to keep in a different drive. My log files I need to keep the different drive. I can choose this one. Little very hard when you go for SQL Server 2005 2000, sir. Now this has been lot of simplified by Microsoft. Okay, this is how your SQL Server 2005 installation. You never get a chance, but to show you how the interface looks like on 2005, this is how our interface looks like. Okay, I'm canceling. Okay, let's cancel this stuff. I don't want. Okay, click on cancel this. Okay, finish. Now, if I go for SQL Server 2008, okay, now, oh, still, it got cancelled, right? Yeah. So now you can close it. Okay, I will talk about that, sir. It is now the interface has been changed. Now click on OK. Okay, click on OK. See, now it got opened one more wizard. Now here it is asking if you wanted to go here, you can choose Enterprise Evaluation Edition, Express Edition. You can go, or I don't want, sir. I don't want Subbu. I need to pass. Okay, for example, let's go our license keys. Okay, let's go for 2000, sir. Okay, enterprise license key copy. Okay, and paste it here. Click on next. Now see, Microsoft SQL Server 2008 Enterprise Edition. Everyone able to see? Because you provided the enterprise license key, it is showing the enterprise edition. Okay, like same. If you go to the developer license key, okay, developer edition license key, and if you provide the developer license key, okay, oh sorry, properly I need to copy, otherwise the spaces will remove the keys. Okay, now click on next. It is showing as a developer edition. Same set of file, correct? Is there anywhere I change the set of files, sir? No, right? Same set of file. Okay, it is a 64-bit set of file. I just opened 64-bit set of file, and I'm just changing the license keys. Now my installation is same. Okay, your installation is same. Your wizard is same. Your infrastructure is same. Only the keys are the game changer here. Got it, everyone? No? Yes?
Yes.
So if application team is providing the license key, you need to pass the license key. It will tell us whether you are installing a developer edition or whether you are installing standard edition or enterprise edition. By getting that license key, you will get to know, oh, this license keys belong to enterprise edition. Oh, this license keys belong to standard edition. This license key belong to developer edition. And the rest everything same, sir. Okay. So I hope you got my point, what I want to convey. So the wizard has been, the interface has been upgrading by Microsoft version by version. You are seeing the differences. Okay. And I think I prepared something, sir. Where I kept it. Okay. I will find it, sir. I prepared something, okay, which you wanted to remember in terms of installation. Okay, as part of installation. No,
Are you going
somewhere.
to share any documents?
Which documents, sir?
Those kind of documents?
Oh yeah,
for-
yes, we'll share. We'll share. What are the very important? I will share all the documents.
Yeah.
Okay. So this document I will share. Where it is? Oh, this one. This is very important. Whatever I discuss here, I
So
place in the
every
email.
topic, whatever you explained in the
Yeah,
videos.
majority of the stuff. Yeah, majority of the stuff you will get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Whatever
yeah.
you really need, I will get it. Okay. Because
Okay.
I was little mad. Okay, preparing the documents. Okay. I will get. Sometimes I will myself will get confused a lot by seeing the document where I kept it, where I kept it. Okay. I will say this one, sir, because I centralized this one in the proper algorithm. Okay. Experienced people can understand this document. The people who are starting the journey, it's really hard to understand. But if you make this document handy, well and good, sir. Okay. At one time, one day, you can understand all these concepts because we'll talk all these concepts, sir. You need to know about the file stream. You need to know about the max drop. You need to know about the instance file installation. Okay, instance file installation, IEF5. This I haven't discussed. This is also very important when you are installing SQL Server. Okay, whether you are going for default instance, named instance, all thing I mentioned here only at one place. I will share this document along with our running notes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go for our traditional installations. Okay. I told you, right? This is basic installation. Whatever we talk all the best practice, I am not following all the best practice because take your laptops, sir. Honestly, saying majority of the laptops having the only 1 or 2 drives, okay, with 500 MB of storage, so 500 GB of the storage or 1 TB of the storage. Majority of the laptops. In consider to that laptops, I am talking a basic installation. Okay, this is not advanced installation. Okay, just go for traditional installation without following any one of this. Okay, I hope getting my point, everyone. No, yes. Okay.
Some information is that does with the do with the config file. Are you gonna show that one as well later?
Oh yes, yes. See, basically we won't do with the config file, sir. Okay, we won't do. I will show you different technique. Okay.
Okay.
Like a
Yeah, just show us the real time. In a
no real time only, sir. Okay, all are real time. Okay, don't think nothing like traditional. I'm talking. Okay. See, whatever I'm showing now, majority of the time you will do same thing only, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
majority of the time you will do same thing. Everything. So that's see, installation will just take 20 minutes. I don't want to spend this much of time. But if I'm simply showing that one, it's tough when you go to the real world. All these concepts are very important. I think the non-experienced people are struggling a lot to understand all these terminologies. But it's okay, sir. At the ending, at the batch ending, you will become strong in the installation. Okay.
Yeah.
When you start remembering all these points. Now, let's go for SQL installation, sir. In a normally. Okay. Now, what I will do, I don't have setup file. Okay. Now I don't have any inventory. I don't have any inventory, and I don't have any setup file. Now, what you will do in a traditional when you are practicing means you will go and ask the Google SQL Server download. Now you will get the Microsoft blog only www.microsoft.com. Okay, ENIIN, and you will find the SQL Server download. Just click on this one; it will open the new website. Okay, now Microsoft.com. It's a SQL Server download. Okay, now briefly Microsoft mentioned that one, this one. Now what you need to do? Click on the downloads. Okay, now you can find the download. See, SQL Server 2022 on-prem, SQL Server Cloud, SQL Server Developer, SQL Server Express. Okay, you are getting a different same SQL only, sir. Don't think smarter. Okay, all are similar. Being we are installing in on-prem, this is on-prem, right? I am going for SQL Server 2022 on-prem. When you go for Azure, I will install SQL Server on Azure, and I will show you how to install SQL Server on Azure platform. Okay? Not okay. Developer Express, no need, sir. You already know about the license key, right? When you pass the license key, your license will be applicable. That's it. Apart from nothing else. Now click on download now. Okay. Or not only this one, sir. You can do one more thing. There is a website called myvisualstudio.com. Okay. myvisualstudio.com. I will share this link in the video description also. You can open myvisualstudio.com, but if you wanted to access this myvisualstudio.com, you need Outlook account or Hotmail. Okay, please make a note down. You need Outlook account. See, it is asking to sign in. Okay, India. Sorry, India. Continue. Will it allow? Won't allow. It will ask any password or authentication. See, if you wanted to connect this my.visualstudio.com, okay, my.visualstudio.com, you must and should have the Outlook account, and you need to log into the Outlook account only, or Hotmail, or Outlook. You need to provide if you wanted to access myvisualstudio.com. I don't want get that much headache, Subbu, all the stuff. Then this is the good approach only. Go to the Microsoft.com SQL download and click on download, and it will go to the download page. See, SQL Server 2022 now available. You need to provide your name. For example, Subbu. Okay, CN. So who is writing? Who is writing? No, don't write. Come on. Okay. And email, you can provide any randomized email. Okay. Email is also fine, sir. Company, any random company. Okay, IBM. Okay. India region. Okay. Company size, randomized. You are a DBA, I'm mentioning as a DBA role. And India. Will I need to provide my number? No, sir. You can provide whatever number you want. You can provide random number. And you can just maintain randomize and just click on the download. Okay. Now it will start the downloading one set of file. Okay. Now it will prompt you. Okay. So exe file download 64-bit edition. Now you need to click on the here. Now it will download. The file size will be very small only, sir. Okay. Very small. Now open this file. Open this file. It is not still downloaded. Okay. No, it is not still downloaded. Okay. Click on yes. Click on yes. Now it will asking SQL Server 2022 Evaluation Edition. Okay, now it will start download. So every time I need to download Subbu when I'm practicing, every time I need to provide my username, password, everything, all the stuff, Subbu means no need, sir. This file you can save somewhere. Okay, on which server if you wanted to install, copy this file to the server and you can download it. Every time you no need to pass it, sir. You can maintain this one. This file size is only 4.1 MB. Now you are downloading. See, it is asking basic. Basic is nothing but developer edition. Express edition. Basics is nothing but Express edition. Okay. Customize, you don't need, sir. Go for just download media. Okay. Click on download media. Now it is asking to download the ISO file. Click on browse. So I am having space on the D drive. So I'm downloading in the D drive. Okay. I'm keeping in the D drive. Click on download. Now the file size is almost 1.1 GB. Okay. Definitely you need the internet, sir. Okay. You need to download it. Okay. Please download once. Okay. Download once. Okay. SQL Server 2022 or SQL Server 2019. Anything is fine, sir. Okay. If I want to download SQL Server 2019, Subbu, then okay, go for SQL Server 2019 and go to the download button, sir. go to Microsoft. Okay. Yeah. You can click on download. Okay. It will prompt you. Then SQL Server 2019. Open the setup file. Okay. And click on yes. What is doing? Oh, already it is running. Okay. Already one is running, right? Wait, sir. 1 second. Let it be complete. This much time. Only 40 MB.
This is evaluation versions, right?
So forget about the version. I told you, right? Editions. You know the license key. I will provide the license key, right? Just provide that license key is fine. Okay. You need setup files, sir. Later on, you can play like if you're having the license keys. Okay. Nothing like this. I will show you, sir. That's the reason I just see. I'm going for traditional installation only. Only, sir. This part you won't do in the real world. Means
Yes.
go to the download, copy the download. You won't do this word, sir. Once you
Right.
are having the setup file, how we will do in the real world, same thing you are doing, sir. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Loaded. Okay. Now you can close it. Now, if you want to download SQL Server 2019 also, you can open this one, sir, and click on yes. Okay. Now see, it is asking SQL Server 2019 Express Edition, right? Don't go for basic, go for download media. Again, it will be evaluation edition only. Okay, everyone, just go to the download media. That will be evaluation edition, sir. So, oh no, it's Express edition only. Okay. I will provide this 2019 Express evaluation edition link, sir. Let's find it. I will share the link. Okay, where you will download. Okay, so it's running out of time. Okay, let's close everything. Now you already download the setup file, right? Go to here and you can do exit. I don't want this one. I don't want this one. Now go to here. You already copied, downloaded SQL Server 2022. Double click on SQL Server 2022. Now you got attachment. Now this is how they will do the attachment, sir. In case your application team is copying the setup file, how they will copy means they will attach the setup file like this. Now what you need to do, right click on here, click on open. It will open your file. Now I told you, right, 1033, reset, resource, tools, and 64. And you are finding the setup file. Okay. Now you need to go to the setup file, run as administrator. Click on yes. Okay. Now close this with everything you can close it, sir. Okay, now it is opening SQL Server 2022 setup file. Now, first thing, once you open the setup file in the real world or in your laptop, first thing, sir, as a best practice, run the system configuration checker. Okay, as per the best practice. So it will check all the, if you wanted to view the report, you can click on view report. It will show you the report also. See, it is completely telling the report. It is completely telling the report. There is no errors. There is no errors are failed. There is no errors. There is no fail. We are good. to go for the installation. Okay, fine. Now, one more thing you can do here itself, go to the rare case window, sir. Where is that? Go to the install, not install, in the planning itself. Source. No, go to the install, sir. Okay. I'm not recalling where that file, with that name. I will recall, sir. Okay. Now, this is very important, sir. This wizard is very, very important. Okay. This wizard. See, if you go to the SQL Server 2000, if you go to the 2008, okay. If you open SQL Server 2008, okay, just hold for 5 minutes. I will be back. Okay, everyone, hold for 5 minutes. Hey, sorry, I'm back. Okay. Yeah. Now, okay. So first thing, see, when you go to the install, okay, when you go for SQL Server 2008, okay, see, we are able to see the new SQL Server standalone installation or add features to the installation, new SQL Server failure cluster installation, add node to the failure cluster installation, and upgrade. But when you go for, you are in SQL Server 2022, now you will see little additional like reporting services, SSMS, data tools, along with the new SQL Server failure cluster installation, add node, upgrades. Something here you are seeing little new. Okay. See, this is one important question in terms of installation. From SQL Server 2016 onwards, okay, from SQL Server 2016 onwards, SSMS reporting services has been separated from the traditional installation. Means when you go for traditional installation, reporting service is also inbuilt, like analysis service, integration service, reporting services has been inbuilt. Means you can install everything from here only. Okay, but from SQL Server 2016 to SQL Server 2017, SSMS and reporting services completely separated. Means while you are installing traditional installation, you can't install reporting services or SSMS. SSMS you can install separately. Reporting services also you can install separately. Power BI also you can install separately. Because from SQL Server 2016, Microsoft came up with the Power BI concept. Okay, Power BI. So for that, what Microsoft done? Okay, Microsoft separated the reporting services, SSRS, but integration service, analysis service, uh, rest all the things you can do from the traditional installation only. Only SQL Server management tools and the reporting services has been separated. Got it, everyone? No? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I will share
yes.
one document. Okay, I will just went to into my repository and I will find one document. Okay, what are the things I took the screenshots? Very important. What do you mean by screenshots? See, you will perform two. I just missed this point. Okay, sorry. When you start installation, there are two types of installations. One is standalone installation. Okay, one is cluster installation or cluster installation. You will perform basically two types of installation. One is standalone installation, one is cluster installation. This is SQL on cluster. Okay, SQL on cluster. Two types of installation you will do. One is standalone, one is SQL on cluster. So when you go here, see new SQL Server failure cluster installation, add node to the SQL Server failure cluster installation. This is nothing but this SQL on clusters. Okay, so we'll
What's
talk
a
it.
standalone?
One second, sir. Yeah, one second. See, we'll talk this one after 1 month. Okay, mostly December mid will start the clusters. Okay, December mid will start the clusters. Standalone. So definitely you will have one doubt. What is standalone? What is clusters? See, this is your VM. Okay, on top of that you are installing SQL. Okay, if something happened to this operating system, okay, something happened to operating system and operating system is crashed or something happened, if this server went down, ultimately your SQL is also down, right? There is nothing issue with the SQL. There is something issue with the operating system. Okay, there is something issue with the operating system. If something happened to operating system also, if this server is down, your SQL will automatically down because this SQL is part of this server only. Okay, means standalone installation is nothing but within the server, your entire engine is running. If something happened to this operating system, or if something happened to this SQL, entire your application will goes down. Okay. Now, from 2008 onwards, what Microsoft came up with the concept means if something happened to operating system, okay, if something happened to operating system, my SQL should not down. What I need to do? I am going to build one more server. Here also I will install SQL. Here also I'm installing SQL. In case if something happened to this, okay, at the infrastructure level, try to understand at the infrastructure level, this SQL need to automatically move to this server. These SQL services along with the data services need to move automatically from this server to this server. For that, I'm going for the clusters.
So it's failover.
Failover, yes. New SQL Server failover cluster installation. Add node to the SQL Server failover cluster installation. For this SQL, I am adding one more service. See, add. Here I'm going to install new SQL. Here I'm going to install add SQL. If something happened to here, okay, this will come here. But in the standalone, no, sir. Either something happened to operating system or something happened to SQL, gone. We are gone.
Operating system means, are you talking about Windows, right?
Yeah, OS only, right? It can be systems or anything system. Okay, OS.
Okay. Windows,
Yeah.
Linux. Okay.
So then we will go for this only, right, Subbu? Why you are going for standalone means? No, sir. Okay, majority of the instance will be the standalone. Okay, majority of the instance, like 60 to 65% will build the standalone SQL only in the real world. Okay, in the cluster there is a drawbacks. So what are that? There is advantage. If something happened to here, it is failoring as quickly as possible. There are the drawbacks also. So no need to think about this much now. Now I'm going for the standalone installation. So there is a dedicated session for this, sir. We'll talk massively. What do you mean by standalone? Okay. Within one server, you are going to install traditional SQL server. It's a traditional SQL server in case if something happened to SQL or in case if something happened to operating system or OS, something happened, entire your application will be down. Okay. Why Subbu means we are going for standalone means, see, to build the clusters, to build this, you need massive infrastructure. See, this VM having a 250 GB of RAM, 32, 64 cores, okay, and 5 terabytes of storage. Okay. Now you want to build one more copy. In this server also you need to build 250 GB of RAM, okay, 64 cores, 5 terabytes of storage. Massive infrastructure, right? Agree, not agree? You same copy only. Here you are making one copy. Here also you are making one copy. Why, sir? If something happened to this, no worries. I can bring this one as quickly as possible because I'm already having the copy. So don't go that much advanced level. So to build a high availability, you need massive infrastructure. For standalone, no need, sir. Okay. So because you are having a dedicated server, on the dedicated server, you are going to install the dedicated SQL. If something happened to operating system, if something happened to database also, entire your application will be down. Okay. Now you are going for the new SQL Server standalone installation or add features to the existing installation. If you already installed SQL Server, on top of that you wanted to add, you will go for this one. Click on this. Then close this one, sir. You know it. Okay. Next. Do you need any internet connection to install the product? Subbu means no. Okay, you can uncheck this one. You can click on next. Okay, you don't need any internet connection to install the SQL Server. You need just a setup file. Okay, see, perform new SQL Server installation or add features to the existing installation. In my laptop, I already having the 3 instances: stage, dev, UAT. I already having 3 instances. If I wanted to add any features to this one, I need to go here and which instance I wanted to add, I can choose and I can add the features by clicking next. But being we are learning the new installation, let's go for the new SQL Server installation. Then click on next. Okay, here the editions are very important. Now go to the license key. I can provide the license key. So I am having the license key, right? I can go for SQL Server 2022 and I can pass the developer edition. See, okay, I can paste it here. Okay, then click on next. Oh, sorry, software license key. Okay, click on next. Now see, this is SQL Server 2022 Developer Edition. Go back. Now change the license key, sir. Okay, go to the enter page and paste it here. Okay, click on next. See, this is the enterprise edition. Go back. Choose here. Go to the standard license key. Okay, and you can run the standard license key. This is a standard edition. So setup file is the same. You downloaded evaluation edition only. Okay, but you are passing different license keys. The edition is changing, sir. So no worries about the setup file. License key will play a major role. Got it? No? Yes, everyone? Now you will ask how the Microsoft is tracking that information is with the help of this key only. With the help of this key, Microsoft is tracking how you are using that keys, where you are using, how you are using that key. Microsoft can easily track that information. Now click on next. This is standard edition. Accept the license, then click on next. Okay, as of now, I am doing on-prem. I don't want my Azure extension, all this stuff. Just uncheck this one, sir. I don't want anything. This window has been added only from SQL Server 2022. When you go for SQL Server 2019, 2017, 2016, 2014, 2012, this window is not added. Okay, from SQL Server 2022, Microsoft came up with the concept called Azure extension. Being I am doing on the on-prem, I don't want any cloud access. So that's the reason I am going for, okay, uncheck this one. Okay, I am not installing Azure extension. I will show you in the upcoming classes how to install the Azure extension, how it is working with the functionality. Then click on next. Okay, now see, when you go for SQL Server 2000, for example, if I go for SQL Server 2016, okay, installation step by step. Okay, you will find lots of blocks. Open any blocks. Okay, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. You will get the step by step images. How to download, how you are getting. So scroll down, scroll down. You are providing the license key. Okay, fine. See, there is no Azure extension here. Okay, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. You will see the features. You will see the features. Now here the difference you will see. See, when you go for SQL Server 2016, 2019, you will see lots of features in the shared features. Okay. So when you go for instance installation, okay, it will take a lot of time to me. Come on. Okay, sir. Let me stop here. Okay. I will continue tomorrow because I need to start within 5 minutes. I need to start the Postgres. Okay. I thought it will complete today. Sorry, I will complete tomorrow, sir. Meanwhile,
No
today I
problem.
will complete the infrastructure. Okay. In the evening, I will complete the infrastructure and I will show you the actual SQL installation by tomorrow only. Okay. I
Okay.
can't come. I don't want to rush the installation. Okay. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
I will
No
talk
problem.
tomorrow. Yeah.
It's already over 2 hours, so no problem.
Yeah, because within 5 minutes I need to open the Postgres batch. Okay.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you so
I
much.
need to switch my SQL to Postgres now.
Okay.
Come on. Thank you. See you
Thank
tomorrow.
you. No
Thank
problem.
you.